After the CEO of SafeMoon, John Karony, had been arrested and sent to jail, many people had been wondering, did he get out on bail? And with the new information that's revealed today, which is really interesting and does reveal some new key things, the answer to this looks to be no. So there's a big reason why they're not releasing him right now. And we're going to dive into that in this video. If you guys would like to stay up to date of what's happening with this case, with SafeMoon, with crypto in general, then don't forget to hit subscribe. And also you can check out my Telegram, Team Crypto Atlas, where I post updates in there as well. You can find the link to that down in the description below. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right on into the news. So moving over here, starting with SafeMoon Sabine, they actually say Rule 5 hearing concluded, detention hearing set for November 8th. So we're several days away from seeing that. As soon as I get an update, I'll give you guys another video coverage on that. And we have Crypto Kark here who says the U.S. government has moved to deny SafeMoon's CEO, Braden John Karony, pretrial release from jail. They consider him a serious flight risk, arguing that he could continue to divert investors' funds, destroy evidence, or contact co-defendants or unindicted co-conspirators. The United States may present arguments, proffer evidence, or provide testimony at the scheduled detention hearing supporting the detention of the defendant, including, but not limited to, the nature and circumstances of the offense charged, including whether the offense is a crime of violence, a violation of Section 1591, a federal crime of terrorism, or involves a minor victim or a controlled substance, firearm, or destructive device. The weight of evidence against the defendant. The history and characteristics of the defendant, including the defendant's character, physical and mental condition, family ties, very interesting, employment, financial resources, length of residence in the community, community ties, past conduct, history relating to drug or alcohol abuse, criminal history, and record concerning court proceedings. I want to point out that you'll notice that not all of these boxes are checked. So moving on to the next one that is checked, the nature and seriousness of danger to any person or to the community that would be posted by the defendant's release, the defendant's significant family or other ties outside of the United States, the defendant's use of aliases or false documents, the defendant's prior attempts to evade law enforcement. Other reasons, including investigation in this case began in November of 2021. The defendant was interviewed by the FBI and left the country to England within days. Throughout the investigative period, the defendant has been traveling to and from England, and each time staying in England for a longer period. Flight records show approximately 12 trips to England since the investigation began. The most recent travel to England was June 1st of this year, wherein the defendant remained in England for 5 months. Since November of 2022, the defendant has only been in the United States approximately 3.5 months, spread out over various short trips back to the U.S. The defendant was arrested only after returning for what law enforcement learned would be a very short time back in the United States. By his own admission, when arrested, he was traveling with a large sum of money. This scheme harmed numerous investors, and millions of dollars have been lost. The defendant continues to have access to investors' funds. The United States believes that he can continue to divert investors' funds if released. The defendant also has access and the ability to destroy evidence and contact co-defendants. One co-defendant's whereabouts are unknown as he has left the country. He also could contact unindicted co-conspirators, some of which the United States alleges that he collaborated with to commit the charged crimes. So, yeah, this is serious stuff. And the amount of time that John Karony has spent outside the United States, that's wild, right? Like, think about this. The main headquarters of SafeMoon that the community has associated with is in the United States. It's in Utah, right? It's Pleasant Grove. Why would the CEO be spending the majority of his time in another country? Why would each time he extend it out further and further? Why would he be taking a large bag of cash with all of this stuff? As we continue to find out new information that's happening with this case, it's absolutely wild. And I have to be very, very straightforward with everyone. This looks incredibly bad for John Karony. And we need to take a look at this and just acknowledge that this case being handled by the DOJ, they're in a position where they're looking at John and they're actually saying he's a flight risk. That is not something that is very common, right? That's something very serious to take into account. I've seen arguments of people saying that, well, John Karony, he's not a bad guy. He wouldn't be doing anything fraudulent. And like, he has this background history of being in the US military, being involved in all of that. They're trying to justify all these reasons. We need to look at the facts. Facts matter. Evidence matters. This is highly incriminating. Yes, John Karony is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Everyone makes their own decision on what they want to do with their holdings. I'm going to continue to share the updates with you. Okay? So at the end of the day, you make whatever decision that you need to, but I'm going to continue to share updates as this proceeds. This is where we're at right now. That's what I got for you in this video. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to check out my Telegram group. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. With that being said, thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members for your support as well. God bless. We'll see you in the next episode.